customer.
Your home will feel big, clean, and open.
When you want junk to disappear, call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Announcing the 12th annual San Francisco Bay Dream House Raffle, benefiting Yerba Buena Center for the Arts.
It's your chance to win the house of your dreams, or $1 million in cash.
The Dream House is a 1-acre home at Stinson Beach with 4 bedrooms and stunning views of the Pacific.
2,300 prizes will be given away, including cars, vacations, and electronics. There are so many ways to win.
When you buy a minimum of 1 raffle ticket, you can buy an add-on ticket for a weekly prize of $10,000 cash. Congratulations to this week's add-on ticket winner, Zsolt Vijakashin.
Buy 3 or more tickets and you're automatically entered into the multi-ticket drawing for a Jaguar F-Type or $50,000 cash.
The San Francisco Bay Dream House Raffle. Grand prize is your dream house at Stinson Beach or $1 million.
Buy your tickets right now. Call 800-870-7886. That's 800-870-7886.
Mortgage rates are at historic lows, and this is our lowest 30-year fixed rate ever. And now your direct lender, Network Capital Funding, is offering mortgage rates at historic lows. See for yourself. Our 30-year fixed rate is 2.875 with a 2.89% APR. Incredible! Plus, there's no lender origination fees or discount points. This is the best it's ever been. And now you have Network Capital Funding on your side, saving you money and time with their uniquely fast, simple, and secure process. These are our best rates ever, so call now to save. See for yourself. Our 30-year fixed rate is 2.875 with a 2.89% APR. Incredible. Call the experts at Network Capital Funding. 800-500-1-HIT. That's 800-500-1-HIT. As in home run. It's a grand slam to your best savings ever on your new mortgage or refi. That's 800-500-1-HIT or 800-500-1448. NMLS ID 11712. Visit NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Licensed by the California Department of Business Oversight under the Finance Lender Law. Number 603D787. An equal opportunity lender. Rates subject to change and credit approval. Call 800-500-1-HIT for more information.
KCBS News Time 7:58. First for traffic, we check in with Kim in your local Honda dealer's traffic center.
Yeah, problems are seeming to compound here on the southbound Emmets Freeway stand. We're talking on the Hayward side. There was an earlier stalled vehicle that was pulling a trailer, and they were working on that for a while to get it out of the way. And now we're getting a report of another stall. I do think these are two separate items. This one blocking the middle lane right at A Street Hayward. The accident that we had reported last time at Tennyson doesn't seem to be affecting the commute. But South 880, this is pretty tough. Traffic is now backed up beyond Highway 238 past Washington, and then 238 itself is backed up as you try to make your way onto southbound 880. So that whole configuration, San Lorenzo side down toward A Street Hayward, very, very crowded. Northbound 880 recovering as you make your way up toward Fruitvale. A little bit of slow traffic just north of the Coliseum, let's call it. There had been some earlier debris. It has been cleared away, though. Westbound Highway 4 is slow out of Bay Point toward Willow Pass. We also see a slow pocket in Concord, making your way off of Highway 242 to 680. Your next update, 8:08 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
Our Mancini Sleep World 6-day forecast has some hope early next week, but for the next couple of days, cooler and windy weather with some raindrops possible tomorrow. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS. Friday, June 5th, 2020, coming up on KCBS.
I'm Holly Kwon in Oakland, where religious leaders use this weekend's services to preach peace and partnership.
I'm Tim Ryan. With big changes in Santa Clara County, restaurants, malls, and businesses allowed to reopen today.
And an unexpectedly strong jobs report sends the stock market soaring. Good morning, I'm Stan Bunkert. CBS News covers the world next.
When you need to know, KCBS AM, KFRC FM, and HD1. San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, a radio.com station.
It's 8 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Capital One Bank.
I'm Peter King in Orlando. The Labor Department's jobs report has blindsided the experts who expected the worst. Instead, it shows the economy added 2.5 million jobs last month, lowering the unemployment rate to 13.3%. At an ongoing news conference, President Trump calls the numbers incredible.
If you look at so many different places that have opened up, I don't want to name all of them, but the ones that are most energetic about opening, they are doing tremendous business, and this is what these numbers are all about.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
This is very strange information. I think it has a lot to do with perhaps when the survey is taken, and also the number of people who are actually saying I'm out of work versus temporarily furloughed.
And Wall Street has responded with a big rally. The Dow up now more than 820 points. Most of last night's protests following the first George Floyd memorial were nonviolent, but in Buffalo, New York, someone called for an ambulance after video showed police officers shoving a 75-year-old man who fell to the ground and hit his head. He's hospitalized in serious but stable condition. Police claim he tripped. The mayor says he was pushed, and now 2 cops are suspended without pay. CBS's Jerika Duncan.
The governor of New York State, Andrew Cuomo, says he has the state attorney general's office investigating them and plans to have a report on that completed in the next 30 days.
Joe Biden says he thinks most but not all Americans are decent people. During a virtual town hall last night, the former vice president and the presumptive Democratic nominee took a shot at President Trump, saying, quote, when the president stands up and divides people all the time, you're going to get the worst out of us to come out.
Do we really think this is as good as we can be as a nation? I don't think the vast majority of people think that. There are probably anywhere from 10 to 15% of the people out there that are just not very good people.
Investigators in Valhermoso Springs, Alabama, say 7 people are dead after a shooting at a home that had been set on fire. Mike Swafford is with the Morgan County, Alabama Sheriff's Office.
It is a horrific scene, and to be able to process that is going to take some time.
He says there's no suspect in custody, but there's also no further threat. Well, even with today's positive news on jobs, American businesses are hurting, and that includes this venerable clothing manufacturer.
Brooks Brothers semi-annual sale is going on now. Save up.
Here's CBS's Cammie McCormick.
The New York Times reports Brooks Brothers plans to lay off nearly 700 employees at factories this summer, and that it's also trying to find buyers for those factories in Massachusetts, New York, and North Carolina. If it can't, it would close them.
This is CBS News.
Why settle for average? With Capital One, you can open a new savings account with a rate 5 times the national average. Welcome to Banking Reimagined. What's in your wallet? Capital One N.A., member FDIC.
It's 8:03 at the Bay Area's news station, KCBS. Temperatures coming down fast today. The wind speed's going up. Good morning. I'm Stan Bunger. And here's what's happening. The county that saw the first and the worst of the Bay Area's coronavirus pandemic is throwing more business doors open today. Santa Clara County, which continues to lead the region with 144 COVID-19 fatalities, is allowing a number of businesses to change today, including the opening of restaurants for outdoor dining only. KCBS's Tim Ryan joining now. Tim, also retailers, shopping centers can open up, but there are lots of rules here.
Yeah, a whole lot, Stan, but really it is a big day. Now, allowed as of midnight, outdoor dining, in-store shopping, manufacturing. You can bring your house cleaner back in, and you can get your shoes and your watch repaired, your pets groomed. Santa Clara County Council James Williams explains this all comes with a lot of rules.
There will need to be, distancing between tables and other appropriate safety precautions. And in fact, we're putting out guidance for restaurants and food facilities.
Yeah, that guidance is strict. Key question, of course, is how many restaurants have both that outdoor space to open and then the hungry people to show up to make this thing economically sound? Direct personal services still not allowed yet. Now, that includes barbershops and salons and gyms. Public pools, though, are open again. Of course, it's freezing out right now. Childcare opened, summer camps have reopened, and religious activities can resume as well. Santa Clara County, with the nation's first documented coronavirus death, reporting 2,819 cases to date. Reporting live, Tim Ryan, KCBS.
Thanks, Tim. Other Bay Area counties moving forward a bit. San Mateo County's gotten an order out that'll take effect early tomorrow morning, letting restaurants open for outdoor dining. Will also allow for indoor funerals with up to 10 people present. Outdoor funerals could have 25 people attending. And in Sonoma County, there's expected to be an announcement today of a modification that will allow swimming pools to open for lap swimming and water exercise. The resumption of indoor retail, the reopening of barbershops and hair salons. That could happen tomorrow. We're expecting the announcement from Sonoma County today. Peaceful protests continuing around the Bay Area. There have been a number. More are scheduled for today. The chaos of earlier in the week has largely gone as the curfew orders have been taken down virtually everywhere. There are still a few cities like Concord that has one that'll stay in effect until Monday. As cities gear up for another weekend of rallies and protests, religious leaders looking to use their pulpits to do a little peace and healing work. KCBS reporter Holly Kwan joining us live to reflect on the fact that churches have long played a key role when social change is in the air. Holly?
Yes, Dan, when thousands of demonstrators peacefully marched into downtown Oakland this week, the bells of First Presbyterian Church rang out over Broadway. Despite virus restrictions, a dozen church members came out with handbells. Church member Linda Hill Carter.
It's a loophole. We're not allowed to be in church and practice, our Sunday services together. We can't sing, but we're allowed to congregate and yell on steps of the church.
That's because houses of prayer have always been a part of social movements. Longtime former Oakland City manager and respected civic leader Henry Gardner attends First Pres. He'll be leading part of Sunday's virtual services.
One of the things that white churches and white people and white civic leaders need to do is look in the mirror. Who are you? Who are we? And we need to have that conversation. We're not the greatest democracy in the world when we carry on like this.
Meanwhile, a church in East Oakland holding a protest supply drive today, collecting first aid kits, bandages, granola bars, walkie-talkies, and bullhorns ahead of rallies expected this weekend. Reporting live, Holly Kwan, KCBS.
Thanks, Holly. Just ahead on KCBS.
This is Matt Bigler. How FEMA may be able to help families still struggling with food insecurity.
KCBS News Time 8:07. First for traffic, we have Kim standing by in your local Honda Dealers Traffic Center.
All right, Stan. Well, CHP is telling us they've got a handle on this. Southbound 880 A Street, that has been a real slow spot. Two different stalls, it appears, being towed away. But southbound 880, they're now telling us it's clear approaching A Street. And this report brought to you by DuckDuckGo Privacy. However, the backup does stretch a bit beyond Highway 238, and it's also on 238 in the northbound direction beyond Hesperian as you come around that big hook that feeds onto the southbound Nimitz Freeway. So it's slow, not as bad as it was last time we talk, so it looks like lanes have just been cleared. In the meantime, Bay Bridge has looked great all morning long. No need for the metering lights. They've been switched on every single day this week. Not today. Traffic very light into San Francisco. Earlier stall in the city, cleared from the Central Freeway inbound. We do have word of a collision. I'm going to go back to the Nimitz. This is just being reported on the Fremont side. This is on northbound 880, just south of Automall Parkway. Getting word of a crash here. It looks like at first report this is off to the shoulder, but CHP on the roll. Silicon Valley's look great. Santa Cruz Mountains recovered from earlier problems southbound, so we're in fine shape there. Want the same internet but with more privacy? DuckDuckGo's got you covered. They help millions of people like you get privacy online without any trade-offs. With one download, you can search and browse privately, avoiding trackers, all for free. DuckDuckGo, privacy simplified. Your next update is at 8:18 on the Traffic Leader, KCBS.
Oops, let's do that. We already heard from
Do it again.
You go away. I'll do this.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye. The Bay Area weather story. Windy today and a whole lot cooler. I mean, this is so dramatic. It was 106 degrees at Pinnacles National Park yesterday. It'll be more like 78 in that neighborhood today. 100 in Concord yesterday, 76 today. Livermore will drop from an even 100 degrees yesterday to 74 degrees this afternoon. San Jose, 16 degrees cooler. Oakland, 12 degrees cooler. And that roaring westerly wind. I should remind you, the full moon tonight. This is the so-called strawberry moon. Moonrise, 8:44 p.m. Kind of iffy if you're near the bay and the coast because there could be a lot of overcast. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. So on All News 106.9 and AM 740, KCBS.
Hi, I'm Bill.
And I'm Kathleen.
And we're the owners of American Vision Windows.
I can't believe it's been 20 years since we started American Vision Windows.
Well, we've been through a lot the last 20 years. 9/11, the Great Recession.
In 2008. We've been revolutionizing the window industry for 20 years, and now it's just going to look a little different.
No payments, no interest up to 12 months, or payments as low as $99. Call 888-539-3344 or AmericanVisionWindows.com. CSLB number 778326 on approved credit. Some restrictions apply. See site for details. Offer ends 6/30/20.
I'm Ron Reagan, an unabashed atheist, and I'm alarmed by the intrusions of religion into our secular government. That's why I'm asking you to join the Freedom from Religion Foundation, the nation's largest and most effective organization of atheists and agnostics, working to keep state and church separate. Phone 1-800-335-4021, 1-800-335-4021, or visit the Freedom from Religion Foundation at ffrf.org. Ron Reagan, lifelong atheist, not afraid of burning in hell.
Is your sex life less than satisfying? Prime Male Medical has the solution, and they guarantee it.
We have a 99% success rate in treating ED.
That's Dr. Robert Rowley from Prime Male Medical. KCBS listeners, get your customized evaluation for just $99, which covers a full year of free visits, including a PSA test, testosterone test, and ultrasound. Call now, 415-761-4037, or go to primemalemedical.com. That's 415-761-4037. Due to the economic downturn, RW Garage Doors, the Bay Area's trusted garage door company, is slashing prices on their handcrafted modern wood, modern glass, and modern steel garage doors for as low as $24.99 installed. Plus, RW is including a LiftMaster battery backup motor with every purchase. Increase home value and maximize curb appeal today with no interest financing on approved credit. Call 877-DOOR-808. That's 877-DOOR-808, or visit moderngaragedoors.com.
8:11 at KCBS. The lines at Bay Area food banks prove it. People are short on food. KCBS's Matt Bigler reports on growing efforts to get supplies to those in need, both at the federal and local level. Matt?
Stan, yesterday at the Alameda County Fairgrounds, there was a new COVID community food bank, and it was visited by a high-profile guest. Congressman Mike Swalwell checked it out and said restaurants also need to be making food now for needy families.
You know, anyone who has food insecurity right now because of COVID-19, because they've lost a job, have our restaurants stood up as points of service.
Swalwell is supporting legislation from Napa Congressman Mike Thompson that would allow 100% of FEMA dollars to go to local eateries. Meanwhile, Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf says there are a growing number of food programs in the East Bay.
Everything from grab-and-go groceries at a number of our libraries, as well as families can go to Oakland Unified School District sites throughout the city.
There's also a food delivery program for seniors and folks with chronic medical conditions. For more information on any of that, go to oaklandca.gov/food. Reporting live, Matt Bigler, KCBS.
Thanks, Matt. A quick update for you in South San Jose about that fire in the foothills. Now considered 80% contained. Authorities say deliberately set. They have a suspect in custody. This all happened along Colleen Drive near the Santa Teresa water treatment plant. Some evacuations, all those folks have been allowed to go home. And one person hurt in a one-alarm house fire in the Bayview district of San Francisco this morning. One person taken to the hospital from that fire at Bayview and Newhall streets with what are said to be minor injuries. KCBS News Time 8:13, sports, and an edition of our infrequent series, Steve Bitker's Sports Book Club, coming up for you in 2 minutes.
Did you know that the IRS has been in lockdown? As IRS employees get back to work, they're facing a huge backlog, which could cause you more grief and frustration than ever. Don't get IRS stress. Get IRS help from Larry Stevens and Perfect Tax Resolution. Are you the target of an IRS audit? Have they levied your bank account? Is the IRS garnishing your paycheck? Larry Stevens has over 35 years of experience in dealing with the IRS. If you owe over $10,000 to the IRS, Larry Stevens may be able to settle your IRS tax debt for pennies on the dollar. The coming months may be the ideal time to make settlement offers. Now is the best time to stop your IRS stress. Get IRS help from Larry Stevens and Perfect Tax Resolution. They can talk to you right now and schedule your free consultation at their offices in the Bay Area or Modesto. Call 209-IRS-HELP. They will be glad to help you. Call 209-IRS-HELP. You'll be glad you did. Call Larry Stevens and Perfect Tax Resolution at 209-IRS-HELP.
You check things all the time, like your email every 10 seconds or your ex's Instagram. But what about checking something as important as your credit? Well, Discover makes it quick, easy, and best of all, free. Discover is now offering FICO credit scores, the score used by 90% of top lenders, for free, even if you're not a customer. Checking your score won't hurt your credit, and you can check each month for changes, always for free. The Discover Credit Scorecard, free for everyone. Learn more at discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply.
And now a game of Commercial Chicken, brought to you by Progressive, where we see how long Flo can go without talking about insurance. Ready? Go.
So, have you noticed how everyone's grammar is completely awful now? Like, you know, the texting and the LOLs. Whatever happened to punctuation? I mean, drivers who switch to Progressive could save big.
Okay, you win. We can't help but save customers money. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
It is in times like these that belonging to a credit union can make all the difference in the world. Meriwest Credit Union invites you to experience the Meriwest way. People helping people, today and every day. Expect more at Meriwest Credit Union.
Coming up on KCBS, digging deeper into that stunning jobs report this morning that saw the unemployment rate down and 2.5 million jobs created in the midst of the pandemic. Jason Brooks in 10 minutes. Right now at 8:15, Steve Bitker at the sports desk. Steve?
Stan, the Major League Baseball Players Association resoundingly rejecting the owner's insistence on a drastically reduced schedule as an essential part of paying the players prorated salaries. The owners say they don't have the cash to pay prorated salaries unless the schedule is limited to about 50 games. The players have no interest in that, and there are no plans for a counter proposal to the union with time running out.
It sounds like a bummer to me. It sounds like they're not going to get this thing together.
You think?
Yeah. You know, Steve, you and I were kicking around the other day a nice op-ed piece we read from the great Bay Area writer Steve Kettman talking about, you know, what life would be like when baseball was back. And so you said, let's get Steve on for an edition of Steve's Sports Book Club. So I have two Steves with me. And in trying to introduce Steve Kettman, you say, what kind of a writer is Steve Kettman? He's written everything and is the co-director of a writer's retreat center called the Wellstone Center in the Redwoods. Steve Kettman, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Just feel free to call me Kettman to make it simpler.
That's easier. I got Kettman and Bitker, one on the right, one on the left, as you look at the playing field here. Well, you know the drill here, Steve, but tell us what you've been up to lately, other than that piece that got our hopes up a little about baseball.
Yeah, I mean, on that, I'll say I still think they'll get a deal, but they're sure doing some serious brinksmanship, and they could blow their sport up and end up in, 8th place in the U.S. It's a real risk at this point.
Well, let's dig into the books. You know the drill here.
Okay, yeah.
And of course, there is a caveat. Somebody like you who's written so many books, it is against the rules of Steve's Sports Book Club to tout your own books, unless you're Bitker, who touted his own book, I believe.
Oh, I would never tout a book that I was the author of. So how fast do I have to go? I have like 3 minutes or 5?
We got about 4 minutes here, so take your time.
Okay.
Don't kill yourself.
So, I'm going to start off with Martina, a book that's written by George Vesey, the great New York Times columnist, about Martina Navratilova. There's kind of often an assumption that you can't have a great book that was collaboratively written. As the guy who wrote Juiced, I obviously have opinions on that. But I think it's a great book, and Navratilova, to me, is one of the all-time amazing sports figures. Number 2, Fever Pitch by Nick Hornby. Often cited book. I read it just in pure pleasure, like eating strawberries and cream or something. Number 3, I have to go with Ball 4, which I think might be the most influential sports book ever, coming up on 50 years since publication this month. Amazing book. Number 4, let's go with a novel called Spring Training. I'm sorry, missed it. Called The Cactus League. Sorry, everybody. The Cactus League, by Emily Nemens, who's the current editor of the Paris Review. We had her here for an author talk just before we shut everything down. But, the Paris Review is where George Plimpton was editor. He did such amazing work. She's picked up the tradition by a kind of writing that really is unusual. It's a novel that tells the story of the Cactus League through a number of different perspectives. I highly recommend it. Number 5, I'm going to go with a book I gave a mixed review in the Chronicle, The Miracle of Castel di Sangro, I guess, by Joe McGinnis. Now, he, of course, is known for The Selling of the President, 1968, which is a great and important book on politics. Later in his career as a major American writer, he moved to Italy, reported on the inner workings of an Italian soccer team. And it's a great book up until the end when Joe kind of loses it and starts giving the coach advice. Now, if anybody read Bruce Jenkins earlier this week, they know I once told Dusty he should have led Barry off in the World Series. So the ultimate failing of any sports writer, Dusty forgave me for that. But anyway, that's a great book. Number 6, King of the World by David Remnick. Remnick is a New Yorker editor. A lot of people don't know he's a former Washington Post beat guy, sports writer covering hoop. And Remnick went to Russia. He's a great writer, and he took on Ali And it's I don't know if it's Remnick's best book, but it is just a flawless study of Ali. Number 7, The Breaks to the Game by David Halberstam. Account of a Season, another famous book, but really holds up to rereading. Number 8, I got to include this one. I did publish it, but it's called Kiss the Sky by Dusty Baker. And it's mostly about going to the Monterey Pop Festival in Monterey, hearing Jimi Hendrix, having him burn his guitar. But it also provides a glimpse of the young Dusty and the choices that he had to make. He, of course, didn't really want to go into baseball. He wanted to go to college and have a great time. But he ended up making the decision to go into the draft saying, hey, please not Atlanta, please not Atlanta. And then it was the Braves that drafted him. He ended up in the South being screamed at by racist fans. Ended up opening Hank Aaron's, racist fan mail. Some of that's in this book. Dusty has a bigger book to tell ultimately, but this is a great glimpse. Number 9, the great running book, Born to Run by McDougall, which I love. I highly recommend. It's about the Tarahumara tribe in northern Mexico that shows that fascinatingly, you can argue that running made us human in the first place. It was the key evolutionary step, not anything else, not using tools, the ability to run long distances and wear out, prey, and then triumph. That's what made us human, and that's what led to our big brains. Finally, number 10, my top pick, Game Time by Roger Angel. Again, a book I worked on, but there's so many great Roger Angel books. This one is a kind of greatest hits collection. But it also included things that Angel did for the project, pulling together stuff that had been previously unpublished. For example, he'd written about Pete Rose over the years, and so he pulled it together, 3 different things he'd written on Pete, updated it, and called it 3 Petes. And, by now he could do about 7 Petes. But highly recommend that one. Roger, to me, is the greatest baseball writer ever, and he inspires us to this day. He's 99. Ready to turn 100 later this year.
What a terrific list.
Great list.
And you know what, Victor, I think what we need to do the next time we bring somebody on, we'll have the top 9 books and Ball 4, because I don't think you can do, a sports book list without that seminal book. Now I got to get this. Yeah, I think Bookshake in Alameda is open for
Cactus League and Kiss the Sky.
Well, this Cactus League one sounds fascinating. Back to you, Ketman. It's a novel, but it's set in the Cactus League.
Yeah, let's go to Twitter after this. Steve, I know, will retweet this. So if listeners want more information, I'll put links up and everything.
Cool.
I'm Steve Ketman at Twitter. It's a great novel that came out earlier this year. And she had to shut down her author tour because, obviously, coronavirus.
Yeah. Well, Steve Ketman, thanks so much for the time. Stay safe, will you?
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
That's cool. Steve Ketman, the great Bay Area writer, and he is at Steve Ketman, Kettmann, on Twitter. We will round up those 10 books and get them appended to our growing list at Steve Bitker Sports Book Club, and I will post a link to that my Twitter feed. Steve will post one on his Twitter feed. You can find me at Bunger KCBS Radio. Okay, I think we got all that covered. Let's check in with Kim Wonderly now. We have some trouble now, Kim, if I'm reading this correctly, a Bayshore Freeway problem?
Yes, this is an overturned plumbing truck. At least that's how it was reported to CHP at first report, Stan. And this is southbound on 101, just south of Woodside. It's north of Marsh Road, so between Redwood City and Menlo Park. Chilton Auto-Body Collision Cam can see that the 2 right lanes are affected. The plumbing truck itself is in the right lane, but there's a debris field that stretching over the 2 right lanes. This is not surprisingly being termed an injury accident. And while emergency crews get on scene, traffic is backing up just to Woodside Road. So for about a mile or so as you're making your way southbound down the Bayshore Freeway. Meantime, Nimitz Freeway is recovering earlier stalls. Southbound 880 is still very crowded approaching A Street out of San Lorenzo. No longer backed up to 238 though. Your next update 828 on the traffic leader KCBS.
Mancini Sleep World 6-day forecast in this challenging time. Mancini's is still delivering comfort to the Bay Area. Visit sleepworld.com. Temperatures today way down, 70s at best, mid-60s. San Francisco, very windy. Stays cool over the weekend. Chance of showers tomorrow, and then starting to warm up Monday, and that warming trend carrying through Wednesday. Traffic and weather together on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS. Money Watch, sponsored by Merrill West Credit Union. Jason?
Stan, the stock market is skyrocketing today on that shocking May jobs report from the Labor Department, which showed a gain of 2.5 million jobs in May, when economists were expecting a loss of 8.3 million jobs. The market had already been counting on the worst already being over for the U.S. economy, and this report today certainly lending a big hand in that direction. The Dow surging higher by 971 points at 27,253. NASDAQ up 208 points to 9824. That is 6 points above the NASDAQ's closing record back in February. S&P right now is up by 92 points at 3205. The Dow and the S&P each trading at their highest levels since early March. The stock market has nearly gotten back all of its losses from the pandemic sell-off. It's simply amazing to see that kind of reaction. Nike shares are rising after Reuters reported that the company is committing $40 million over the next 4 years to help the black community in the U.S. Shares in Nike are moving higher by 1.5%. Nike, one of the first companies that stood behind Colin Kaepernick as he kneeled during the national anthem, and Colin Kaepernick with a shoe line with Nike. On the Money Watch, Jason Brooks, KCBS.
Whether you're deciding which film to watch, what household project to take on, or which way to cook your morning eggs, it's always good to have options. Steve Bitker here for Xfinity, and when it comes to your internet, Xfinity gives you the best options. Have a house full of devices? There's the right speed for that. On a tight budget? Choose a price that's right for you. Plus, you can save even more when you get Xfinity Internet and mobile together with the option to switch up your wireless data anytime. It's internet with the power of options, just that simple, easy, and awesome. Get started with Xfinity Internet and mobile for $30 a month each. You'll get internet for 12 months with a 1-year agreement and mobile with 3 gigs of shared wireless data. You'll save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill. Go to xfinity.com/savebig or call 1-800-XFINITY today. Offer ends June 20th. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After term regular rates apply. Wireless savings compared to averages of top providers.
For 10 years, we've run with the Wall Street Bulls and have seen our personal wealth soar. But are the Wall Street Bears around the corner? If you're nearing retirement, you might be sitting on one of the greatest windfalls in investment history, but now is not the time to get careless about your nest egg. How long can we run with the Bulls? No one knows. But a smart investor will know what their exposure is and take steps to protect what they have. Greg O'Donnell and his team at O'Donnell Financial Group know what steps to take. Call them at 866-496-2300 or visit them online to find out if you're exposed to volatility. There are simple rules that they follow, and it's not about selling you products or frightening you out of the market. It's about doing what's right for you, your family, and your personal situation for the long haul. Call O'Donnell Financial Group right now at 866-496-2300 or visit o'donnellfinancialgroup.com. They'll help you run with the Bulls while keeping a watchful eye out for the Bears. Investment advice offered through O'Donnell Financial Services, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Registered representative offering securities and advisory services through Independent Financial Group, LLC. Member FINRA, SIPC.
Did you know that treatment for ED has advanced beyond the little blue pill? The newest treatment for men seeking optimal performance is finally available in the Bay Area. From the doctors at ARC Men's Health, Acoustic Wave Energy by Gainswave is the revolutionary medical procedure that treats the real cause of ED. Now you can get off Viagra and be spontaneous again naturally. Treatments are non-invasive, pain-free, and surgery-free. A quick procedure breaks down plaque and blockages, restoring blood flow and reversing ED. If you've got ED or Peyronie's disease, regardless of your age or medical history, call ARC Men's Health to schedule your consultation. ARC is PPE compliant and taking all precautions to keep patients safe. HSA cards are accepted. For information, call ARC Men's Health at 650-407-1168. That's 650-407-1168. Online at arcmenshealth.com. Call now, 650-407-1168.
KCBS First for Traffic Update, sponsored by Mero-West Credit Union. On the peninsula. Here's Kim.
Yeah, oops. This plumbing truck overturned, and it wound up blocking the 2 right lanes, and now we have a traffic advisory for the southbound Bayshore Freeway stand. This is southbound 101, a bit south of Woodside, but before you get to Marsh, traffic is backed up now pretty solid to Woodside, and it is beginning to grow. This is an injury accident, so it's likely to be here for a while. Again, 2 right lanes blocked, south 101, south of Woodside, so the traffic traffic just now getting fairly congested. We're still seeing delays to A Street Hayward. I'm not completely convinced, even though CHP has filed the incident. Southbound 880 approaching A. We've had two separate stalls, and it does appear that something is still plugging up traffic. If you happen to see it, feel free. Call our KCBS phone force line at 415-391-KCBS. That's 391-5227. Those are the only two real problem areas. Bay Bridge looks easy into San Francisco. It has all morning long. Next update, 8:38 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
Breezy and cooler today. Those are two big changes in the weather. The wind's really ripping this morning, and it's not going to settle down much during the day. Coming in off the ocean, bringing that cool air ashore. 64 San Francisco high today. Oakland just 70. San Jose just 76. Well, inland only 74, 75. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
Augers, trenchers, blades, brooms, shredders, mulchers, hammers, compactors, planers, rollers, rakes. That's just a sample of the more than 100 attachments John Deere offers for skid steer and compact track loaders. The added versatility provided will help you win more jobs. And with the universal self-cleaning quick attach system, you can switch from one type of attachment to another in no time flat. Your John Deere dealer can help you choose the right attachments to help you run your world. Visit johndeere.com/compact attachments to learn more.
It all starts with just one thing. Don't buy plastic toys for your pet. Look for either natural materials like cotton, rope,